Our only announced candidate when it comes to the county. If there's somebody else anybody knows of or is here who plans to run a county, I'd open that for any of them to speak. Okay, then we'll move on along. So I have the handout in the back for what we're going over tonight, and it's basically a PowerPoint that I spent the time to create, and then I got here and realized I forgot the extension I need to actually be able to plug in so you all can see it. So you have something to take notes on and refer back to at least. And if I did run out of copies, because I wasn't entirely sure how many to make, I can email that out. If you left your email, I'll follow up with an email to everybody of that file just so that you have that as well. And also too, it might be easier to read than the printout is. So again, I'm Tiffany Phillips. Thank you all for being here tonight and to learn a little bit of how things will work on Saturday. How many, is this your first convention? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, so on the other hand, how many have been to a county convention before? Okay, all right. So that may have been the one I needed to ask first. So yeah, that's why you're all here. And we know that we've had a lot more interest that sprung up during the presidential election and then certainly after the presidential election. And so we knew there was going to be quite a few more people to the point where, you know, we started preparing ourselves. We had planned for the convention to be in one location, but then seeing how many people did turn out, we realized that no, we are going to need a bigger room. It's going to be a little too tight where we had originally planned. So it will be at the Pipeliners Union Hall, which is in the 51st Memorial area. It's about a street to the east of Memorial, and then it is north of 51st Street on that street. So right behind, it's a street that runs behind a shopping center that's on the northeast corner of 51st Memorial. And the address is there as well for you. So it starts at 10 a.m. is when it gavels in. I'm just going to jump right on into it. We gavel in at 10 a.m. on the dot, or pretty much close to the dot as we get it. But I'm told the hall will be opened at 8:30. Credentials will begin at 9. So, you know, it helps to kind of be there and go ahead and start, you know, in that 9 to 10 a.m. window. You know, try to not necessarily everybody at once, like right at 10 a.m., not necessarily everybody at once at 9 a.m. because you're going to back it up so much, but somewhere in that time frame. Yeah.
You said credentials begin at 9 too? I don't know what credentials mean.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Yeah, there's a few, I know, there's definitely some of those terms that we'll be kind of going over a bit. So, and then at 10 a.m. we'll gavel in, and it's going to be a bit, which you'll kind of see as we get into this, that there's going to be time given where we'll go through a Pledge of Allegiance, sing the national anthem. There may be a keynote speaker kind of person, or giving the opportunity for, you know, we do have a primary for a special election going on, so if those candidates are there, they probably get a chance to speak. Things like that to provide time for the Credentials Committee to put their report together, which I'll jump into that a bit here in a second, before we actually get to any voting. So the credential delegates, and what credentials is, the Credentials Committee, they get together prior to the convention. They're the ones who got the list of all the precinct officers that were elected on March 9th, as well as state delegates who were elected back in 2015, and also the elected officers of the state party who reside within the county. So myself, Maria Barnes, and Ollie Canada back there, who are both the other congressional district officers. Maria's chair, Ollie's vice. We all three live in Tulsa County, so that means that we all are also credentialed delegates at the county convention for Tulsa County. Dave Ratcliffe, who is secretary for the state party, as that officer, he has a credential. And that credential basically means that you're going to have a badge that, you know, has your name on it, probably your precinct number, or if you were a state delegate or whatever office it is that is allowing you to have a vote and be a delegate at the convention. That is what the credentials are. So the credentials committee has been meeting, and they go over that list and they send it to the state party, all the precinct officers, to verify. They go through the system verifying that everybody is indeed a Democrat, registered where they say they are, all that good stuff, so that everything looks good, everything's clean. We are representing the bodies from which we were elected. And we are within the rules of being somebody who can serve in that capacity, which really the rules on a precinct officer are that you are a registered Democrat in the precinct. Simple as that. Then they may also go through any possible, if chair and vice chair were named in a precinct and they are of the same gender, because the state party rules say that chair and vice chair must be opposite gender from each other. It's credentials committee who then has to get in touch with people and try to work this out prior to convention, because somebody's not actually going to be able to serve. So that's basically what credentials are, if that makes sense to everybody. Feel free to kind of raise a hand if you need something clarified. And like I said, for the voters, the credential delegates at the county convention, the precinct officers, chair, vice chair, and secretary. I know there's been some question out there, people wondering if secretary is or not. Secretary is. It's the committee members, if you named any in your precinct. Those are folks that do not have a credential at this convention. 2015, returning state delegates. You are still considered a state delegate until the point in which new state delegates are elected. So that means you're still able to come to the county convention. But then you are done unless you are re-elected as a state delegate at that county convention. Like I said, elected officials of the state party, registered in the county, and also any legislators or county elected officials within the county, they are also able to have a credential, be a credential delegate at the convention. So, you know, Senator Matthews, Representative Proctor, Representative Goodwin, or Karen Keith, any of them can come to the convention and be able to vote. And then also those carrying a proxy from one of those folks who is a credential delegate who is unable to be there. That is who makes up who can vote in these elections. You're able to attend as a guest. If you don't fit any of those criteria at all, you can come as a guest. Welcome anybody to do that, just to watch and see how it goes. And also, there is the possibility that somebody has to leave early. And if you're a guest there, it's possible that they could proxy their vote to you, as long as you're a Democrat of the same gender. And so, the next slide, which, yeah, if I remember, you could be seeing slides. So, proxies. Which you should have received one in your packet. Did everybody get their packet? I know we've had some issues with mail for a few people. There's also one online. The information is also on the website. If you didn't receive one, the call to convention, you can also call the county party office and they can send you the file via email as well, if you did not get it. So, you have your proxy that is in that call to convention you would have received in the mail. And that proxy is what I'm referring to as a traditional proxy for somebody who is proxying their vote prior to ever coming to the convention. So if something came up, you know you're not going to be able to go on March 9th, then in that case you can fill out that form.
Not March 9th.
Oh, March 25th, sorry. Too many March dates on my head now. So on March 9th, if you thought you were going to be able to go on March 25th, but it turns out you can't, then you can fill out that form that says I, and it has a blank for you to put your name, give my proxy to, and a blank to fill in the name. And it has to be somebody, going to somebody who is of the same gender as you, or gender to which you identify, and then to this, who is also elected from the same political unit. So by that, what I mean is, if you are coming to the convention because you are a precinct officer, then the person you're giving your proxy to in this form of a proxy, you have to also give it to another person from your same precinct. For somebody who is a returning state delegate, or like myself or Maria or Ali, because we were elected from a body where it's represented as the county as a whole, then we can give our proxies to somebody from the same county. So that's why I refer to political unit, because, you know, for instance, if you're getting elected as a state delegate, but then you find out you can't go to the district or state convention, you don't have to, at that point, find somebody from the same precinct. At that point, you're looking for somebody from the same county, which makes things a lot easier. You know, it can be difficult to find somebody from the precinct, especially some precincts where you may have been the only one there. So you're kind of thinking, I can't go. What am I giving it to? And those forms have to be notarized. So if you're needing that, you know, find your local attorney. It pays to have attorney friends in these situations. You know, your bank should be able to do it. Going to a tag agency, places like that. There's a question, yeah.
Okay, I am in that situation where I can't go south. There were only 2 people from my precinct.
Yeah.
It's 900 from Skyhook. So she's going, she's the chair and I'm the secretary.
Yeah.
So what do I do now?
So what you can do, somebody who is at convention, like for an instance, for her, she can carry her own vote as well as one proxy. So she can carry your proxy and be casting 2 votes at the convention.
So I can give it to her.
But she's technically voting your vote as well as her own.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So yes, she can carry your proxy.
What about if it was a mixed gender?
If it say was, you know, chair who can't go and giving it to vice chair, you can't do that because it has to be somebody of the same gender. You still, no matter what, have to conform with that. Even in terms of if you're a secretary and the only person you can find happens to be opposite gender, you still will need to give to the same gender. That's the way, just to keep it all uniform, as opposed to then trying to keep track of who could really give to somebody, to another gender, and who couldn't. Rob?
We don't have in 32, it was just Johanna and I. I'm the chair, she's vice chair. We don't have a secretary. We will both be at convention
Right.
Saturday. So do we not need a secretary?
That, at this point, there wouldn't be able to be a secretary because they can't even appoint until after we have a new county chair elected. So, you votes are locked in on March 9th
Okay.
at that precinct meeting.